The Engineer's Guide to Boundary Driving Success. This is the fifth episode of the series segment Transformative Personal Experience. Welcome to Your Path for a Better You, your Special Forces unit for Breakthrough Living, where we decode the DNA of excellence to help you dominate personal growth. Hello, my dear friends. I am Scarlett Marcel Vantedesha, and today we are diving into the how the engineering guide to boundary driving success can revolutionize your productivity, relationships, and approach to challenges. At 11 years old, I learned to drive, and not because it was fun or exciting, but because it was necessary. My father, a man with an assertive personality, had a clear goal. I needed to drive my mother to therapy in Mexico City while he rested from his grueling shifts in the co-pilot seat. I could barely see the road or reach the pedals, but adjustments were made, and I had to step up. That experience didn't just teach me how to drive, it taught me the importance of boundaries, resilience, and problem solving. So, my dear friends, in this episode, we'll explore practical productivity hacks derived from engineering principles, share personal stories of resilience and growth, and offer actionable steps to help you prioritize, focus, and thrive. Whether you are an engineer, entrepreneur, or professional, this episode will equip you with tools to reset your boundaries and unlock your true potential. Okay, my friends, so as we go through this journey, remember that boundaries aren't just rules, they are strategies for thriving. Don't forget to join the Boundaries Reset Experience Start Lean waiting list, a book that helped you to take a deep dive into mastering boundaries. The link is in the description. My dear friends, let's dive in. Well, my father didn't believe in cuddling, you know. When he taught me to drive, he didn't sugarcoat the situation. He said, "We don't have time for hesitation." It wasn't just about learning a skill, it was about solving a real problem. Do you agree? My mother needed therapy, and I was the only one who could make it happen. But it wasn't all tough love, okay? My dear Aunt Tina, on the other hand, was a master of soft yet assertive guidance. She taught me to balance the harsh realities with compassion and passion, something I now see as critical in setting and maintaining boundaries. Together, these two kinds of approaches taught me that boundaries can be firm without being rigid and compassionate without being weak. Okay? If you don't remember my dear Aunt Tina lesson, you can go back and listen to that previous podcast episode. Okay? So let's see. Growing up. Yes. Growing up, my father taught me a lesson that sticks with me today. Clear expectations create confidence. Driving my mother to therapy when I was just 11 wasn't just a task, it was a crash course in focus, adaptability, and compartmentalization. That same approach now shapes how I manage my time and energy, which is the strategy I am sharing with you today. So, boundaries are like the engineering adjustments my father made to the car. They are the tweaks that make your life functional and your goals achievable. Got it? Okay, so let's see. Boundaries can be the blueprint for resilience. In my engineering career, resilience wasn't just a buzzword. It was a necessity. You cannot design a system to succeed without preparing for their limitations. Similarly, you cannot achieve personal growth without knowing when to say no. and when to adjust your approach. Oh, that is super important about all for people with a similar personality than mine. Okay? So, boundaries helps. Boundaries help engineers stay focused and avoid escape scripts. In life, boundaries protect your time and energy, allowing you to recover and adapt. For example, I remember a particularly challenging project early in my career. The timeline was tight and the demand was high. I realized that if I didn't set clear boundaries, I would burn out before I reached the finish line. By focusing on what is truly essential and delegating effectively, we not only meet our goals, but exceed expectations. That's powerful, right? So let's see the productivity hacks you need. As an engineer, I thrive on systems, and one of my favorite frameworks is the OODA loop. OODA loop that means observe, orient, decide, and act, which is directly related to the survival mode. It's a cycle that keeps you grounded and focused, especially when paired with strong boundaries. Yeah, it's powerful. So let's see some practical tips. Number one, observe. Start each workday by identifying your project or project's priorities. Number two, orient. Understand what aligns with your goals and what doesn't. Super important. Number three, decide. Set clear boundaries to eliminate distractions. Number four, act. Stick to your plan and adjust as needed. Easy. Sounds easy, right? Okay. Boundaries create the space to go through this loop effectively. Without them, you are stuck only reacting to everything rather than focusing on what matters. That's simple. Okay, my dear friends, are you still with me? Good. Okay, if you remember, I mentioned my father assertive personality, right? So let's talk a little bit about why personality matters. My assertive personality, because I am like my father, has always been a double-edged sword. It drives me to take charge. Great, awesome. But it also means I must be mindful of how I set and enforce boundaries. Understanding myself better allows me to set boundaries that align with my strengths while compensating for my blind spots. Super important. Your blind spots or weaknesses. Okay? During a training, for example, I remember this very clearly. During a training session with my dear friend Maya, a life coach, she said, I don't see the problem because you simply operate in numbers. Voila, the light went on. Her expression was so clear and direct that all my senses connected harmoniously at that moment, providing me with a deep connection and appreciation on how I communicate. I finally understood in that moment how I communicate. All right? If you understand, you have control. You have control, you have power. So, knowing your personality isn't just about self awareness, it's about self empowerment. Power. When you understand how you operate, you can create boundaries that work for you, not against you. That sounds great, right? Okay, let's recap. This is a very brief episode, but very powerful. Whether you are designing a system, managing a team, or navigating personal challenges, boundaries are the blueprint for success. They are not about limiting yourself, they are about creating the conditions for resilience, resourcefulness, productivity, and growth. Yeah, sounds great, right? Now, If this resonates with you, check out my blog post I'm going to launch soon. Use tech skills for personal growth. Is filled with practical insights for professionals in any field looking to level up their personal and professional lives. Okay, my friends? And don't forget to join the waiting list for my upcoming book, The Boundary Reset Experience Starling. It's your guide to turning boundaries into breakthroughs. And is here to guide you through this journey with insights and strategies tailored to help you harness your strengths and overcome challenges. Let's reset those boundaries together. Join the waiting list now and get exclusive early access. We will notify you when the book is available for sale. If you register for this waiting list, you will receive an additional bonus, which could include maybe access to a workshop or a complimentary pre-recorder session available only for subscribers. That's awesome, right? Now remember that boundaries aren't barriers. They are bridges to success that foster transformative personal experiences. Well, my dear friends, mission accomplished. I can't wait to be back with more strategies and insights for your breakthrough living. Stay tuned for my next episode. Strength and honor. See you in the arena.